Welcome back, everyone. My name is Eltimar, and we're going to be continuing our Let's Play of Wrath of the Righteous, where we left off last time. We were about to leave the Defender's Heart. We're going to go into the city. We're going to do Woljif's little thing at the Thiefling hideout right up there, and then we're going to go to the place that it tells us to go after that. It is one of the more important quests to do right away. We also failed to sneak past some enemies, and so we have a fight to do. Unfortunately, we can't just skip them like always. Oh, it's just two spiders. Well, it got a first hit off. It got its only hit off. Also, Sela isn't mounted. This is not ideal. Huh. Well, the horse just bit the spider to death, which is not a sentence that I think that I ever thought I would say. But here we are. She is now back on her horse. That is the important thing. We get to leave. We are very far from level 4, so we're not too concerned about that. Unfortunately, we will not be gaining experience as fast as if we were not sharing experience. Interestingly, by the time I reached the center of Kyrieru with my non-share experience game, where I was only just playing my main character, like a solo build type situation, we were like level 7-ish by that point. It was kind of fun.
I will guide.
Sister Kyrieru. The basement is dark and dank. You are immediately struck by the hostility of the gathered Thieflings. 5 of them are kneeling along the wall, separate from the rest. The tall woman, who had been cleaning her fingernails with the tip of her knife, greets you with narrowed eyes. Brother Woljif, you got my message then. Sorry I couldn't swing by sooner, my dear Kyrieru. It was just one thing after another. First I was in shackles, next, well no, I was still in shackles. And I was being watched. And then the chief got me out and I came here straight away. I knew you'd be waiting on me. Enough talking, or else we'll be here all night. So, we had a clear plan. We were going to wait for nightfall, slip into the shop, and grab the goods and leave. Even if the neighbors called the guard, there was time to get away. But what happened? That bitch Irbeth showed up almost right away. She knew we'd be there. Somebody betrayed us, and had a good idea who it was. What do you have to say to that? Make it quick. Sorry about that. I just had a random cough. Do you think that Woljif knows the name of the traitor? Kyrieru turns to you. He speaks. I thought Woljif only brought you so he'd have someone to hide behind if things went south. Yes, he knows the name of the traitor. Every gang that Brother Woljif has been part of has very quickly come to an end. Their hideout location was passed to the guards, or their competitors found out where they could ambush them. Woljif is the only one who always comes out smelling of roses. If you think about it, you'll come to the same conclusion as us. I'd have said that meant Woljif was cursed with finding friends among losers and screw-ups, but now that he's with us, that must mean the curse has been broken. That depends. He was indeed most fortunate to find himself in a party with me. On the other hand, he also ended up in a party with you. Kyrieru is burning. Why are you squabbling here instead of fleeing the city? Kyrieru purses her lips. I'd be glad to leave, like the rest of my brothers and sisters, but in the family there's nothing worse than betrayal. And it's something we do not forgive. We do not forgive anyone who lets traitors off the hook either. If I don't find the rat, my superiors, let's just say, I'll wish I was burning in Kyrieru. I want to keep living, so I'm gonna take a chance. Until I find out who the traitor is, no one is leaving. Woljif, tell us your side of the story. What happened? What's there to tell? About a week ago, Sister Kyrieru got 6 of us together in this very basement. Me, and those 5 over there, I mean. Woljif jerks his head towards the 5 Thieflings kneeling by the wall. She rounds us up, says we got a score. Ancient trees and wonders, the one place no one has ever been able to hit. The place that's guarded by a golem. But now, a powerful scroll that would knock out the golem just happened to come into our possession, along with the tip-off that the shop owner would be gone on a particular night. All 6 of us know a bit of magic, and we know that any enchanted junk will sell for a pretty penny, so we're in. And now, the most important thing was that none of us was to be hanging about the shop ahead of the job. No casing out the place, no calling attention to ourselves from either the golem or its master. This job was top secret. That's all true so far. Go on. We did everything right with the locks and the golem. I picked the lock, I remember it clear as day. Sister Dalna was on lookout. Brother Melroon had the scroll. Doffy, Tavi, and Varnir brought the sacks. We covered the windows and lit the torches. I remember scooping up rings and tossing them in a sack, and one right expensive one rolled away from me. I crawled under a table after it, and the next thing I know, Irbeth was there. Everyone scampered, but I was still under the table. Not my finest moment. I was going to wait it out, but then those blockheads were dragging me out by my tail and put me in shackles. They took all the rings off me, about 20,000 worth. That's actually a lot of rings. And to add insult to injury, I never found the last one. In the end, I got busted over nothing. So they caught you, poor thing, stripped you of your loot, and you didn't even manage to stash anything? Kyrieru is pointedly polishing her knife. Where is the Moon of the Abyss, Brother Woljif? What is the Moon of the Abyss? How is the Moon of the Abyss? Where? No, wait, where did that one? When is the Moon of the Abyss? It was an amulet. It used to sit on a little cushion in the window of ancient trees and wonders. Sterling silver, it sparkled like a star. A fine piece of work. On one side there was a half moon, you know, a crescent, a waning moon. And in the middle there was a dark crystal, like it was eclipsing the moon. Old man Philemon was so proud of that amulet. He used to say, "I'll never sell it. It's the jewel of my collection." Woljif sighs unhappily. I used to go there to see what kind of treasures there were in the world. There's nothing else to look at. In Canabrus, people used to claim it was a powerful thing, but who's to say? If you ever stole a thing like that, you'd have the guards on you the second you tried to fence it. Everybody knew that you were always hanging around ancient trees and wonders, drooling over the Moon of the Abyss. Did you think you could swipe it and all the commotion and keep it for yourself? Did you hope we'd all be locked up and you'd get off scot-free, and with a fancy trinket to boot? Don't take me for a mug, Woljif. I see right through you. Why would Irabeth arrest her own informant? Took the words right out of my mouth. Doesn't make any sense. If I was the rat, I would have kissed her on the hand and been long gone by now. You know me, sister. I'm a cautious fellow, not an idiot. Why would I go against the family? So, the fish in the cellin can have a nice Woljif-sized dinner. The Moon of the Abyss is a pretty bauble, to be sure, but it's just an amulet. It ain't worth dying over. You knew Irabeth's people would protect you. You know you could pin the moon going missing on them. And now you've come here with backup. You knew exactly what I was going to say to you. The only problem is nobody returned the amulet to Philemon. Are you giving Irabeth a cut? Is that it? Have you seen her? Do you think she'd take a cut of anything I offered her? She can't be bought. She's like 3 heralds of Iamade, all rolled into one. He speaks the truth. You'll find some knights who take bribes, I'm sorry to say, but Irabeth Tierbade is not one of them. Go on, Woljif. That's the whole story. Woljif crosses his arms, looking affronted. Some family this turned out to be. Just a name in the end. In a real family, people take each other at their word. They don't throw around accusations. I didn't take the Moon of the Abyss. What am I going to do with it? Can't sell it to no crusaders. It's a special item. You can't wear it. It'll get nicked. It's pretty to look at, sure, but it ain't that pretty. If it's that important to you, Sister Kyrieru, I'll find it. I'll drag the traitor here by his horns just so you don't end up at the bottom of the cellin. But do you know what you're going to owe me for that? An apology, right here in front of everyone. You're going to apologize loud and clear so everyone hears. You'll say, "Sorry, Woljif, you're a good guy, and I was wrong about you." Fine, you're one of my people, which is why I'm going to give you some time. But if you run, Brother Woljif, the family will get you wherever you go. You'll spend the rest of your life looking over your shoulder, tossing and turning at night, fearing poison in every cup and every meal. You'll look into the eyes of every tiefling you meet, wondering if the family's come for you. You'll have no peace, but one day, you'll be tired of running. You'll stop to catch your breath, and that's when we'll get you. You got it? You have a way of words, Sister Kyrieru, a way that almost made me wet myself, but a way nonetheless. Let's go, Chief. We'll go chat to that scary gal, Irabeth. She knows you a little. We can ask her who ratted us out. I'll let you do the talking. I'll find the real traitor, and I'll get my apology. Onward to Irabeth, Chief. Let's go clear my good name. Root out the traitor, but be quick about it. Time's running out, and I don't want to get chewed up by demons. Also, really quickly, we're going to swap this out for this, just so we can have a slightly better diplomacy check, because she is the only one in my group who's any good at persuasion, which is kind of sad. But we need more charisma. We'll have better people with persuasion later on, but for now we don't. We just don't. Back to the Defender's Heart, another 1-hour trip. And more enemies to fight. I should probably give Woljif some spells, now that I think about it. Who is that? Is that the enemy? Why is he facing the wrong way?
I'll cut you wide open!
Cover me, all right?
That worked out pretty well.
The inheritor!
That did not.
Guide my blade!
You won't survive me.
He's got a lot of armor.
I'll just have to resort to brute force.
The spirits demand your blood!
He is now officially dead. We rolled really, really well on those attack rolls. Surprising me. I know we sold Camelia's bows, the short bows, but it doesn't matter. The crossbow is fine for now. It doesn't really make that much of a difference for her. When we get, there's There's a bow we can get fairly soon in the game that's pretty good for short bows, and we'll give her that when it shows up, if we're still using her at that point in time. I still haven't really finalized who I want to bring in my group. Try to bring along people I haven't really used all that much, like Woljif we barely used last game, and though I don't really love him as a character, I think I'm going to bring him along. The thing about Seela is she is really good at fighting, and I kind of don't want to give that up yet. We will maybe bring Ember along, although... No, we're going to bring... Okay, our group's going to be Woljif, Nenio. Who else do I want? Woljif, Nenio, Darren. Although Darren is lawful evil, so maybe that wouldn't work very well.
Focus on the goal.
Such a toss-up. Alright, Erebeth. Any success? How's the city? There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. I can talk, I promise. There's a traitor I'm trying to track down. Who's your informant among the Thieflings? Erebeth arches her brows in surprise. Canabras is threatened by a demon horde, and you have enough time to help out thieves? Erebeth sighs. I don't like this, but I hope you know what you're doing, and I'll tell you everything I know. I did not see my informant's face. He slipped out of a dark alley, handed me the note, and disappeared. Erebeth hesitates as she tries to remember. He had a cloak with a hood masking his face, but the long horns didn't fit under it. There should be a guardian golem in Ancient Trees and Wonders, the shop they tried to rob. The owner gave us the construct's code word, just in case. The golem itself was destroyed, but the head seems to be intact. So you can interrogate the thing and find out what it saw. The code word is Hand of Aurori. The shop's owner must have escaped, but there's a chance he'll get lucky with the golem. Gotta go. Alright, we're off to do that now.
Watch out for trouble.
Who else didn't we use very much in the last playthrough? Actually, we used pretty much everyone in the playthroughs. Except for Woljif. I think Woljif was the universal person we didn't use. Which means we can pretty much use anyone we want. Another 1 hour trip. Alright, so I'll make a group dynamic. We need a melee tank, we need ranged DPS, we need spellcasters, and we need healers.
Keep your calm.
Hello? Is anyone there? Free at last. I thought I'd be flattened like a pancake under that rubble. Much obliged. Damn, I'm not in any pain, but my head is still foggy for some reason. What's with all the hubbub in the city? The name's Finnian. I'm a Pathfinder. If there's anything I can do to help, I will.
You're a Pathfinder?
That's right, Finnian Dismar, Pathfinder and Crusader. I roam around the world wound wherever my tasks lead me. Scouting mostly, but this last while I've just been hanging around in Canabras, waiting until I'm needed again. I'm bored out of my mind, but at least this shop makes for better lodging than some inn.
What I mean is, what are you?
What's that supposed to mean? I just told you. You want to know where I hail from, is that it? Well, I'm from around here, actually. Weak helots of the Star-Eye clan fled when the World Wound troubles began. But I couldn't stand by while the demons wreaked havoc, so I came back. Or did you mean to ask about my weapon of choice? My best weapon is every weapon. I'm a skilled and capable fellow, if I do say so myself. I can swing a sword and poke with a spear, but what I am best at is communing with the spirits. They call folks like me Phantom Blades.
Phantom Blade, what is that?
It's like a spiritualist, but with a twist. It means that some spirit took a liking to me at some point, and it can turn into whatever weapon I need. Handy, eh? I don't need any whetstones or enchantments. Doesn't take up space either. Although, to be fair, it's not a barrel of laughs. The spirits that bestow this kind of power don't come from happy places, and they're not exactly bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. They usually appear after great battles that leave few survivors.
The city's under attack by demons.
Wait, what? The last thing I saw was some thieves breaking in here. And then the guards came, everyone was running around. After that, it's a bit of a blur. Right when things got intense, they dropped the cabinet on me. I couldn't even help the owner. I was just lying under the shelves like a dimwit until you came along. If there are demons in Canabras, we must do something about it. The city needs every blade it can get. Hey, do you mind taking me with you? I don't think I can handle this alone. And besides, the more the merrier.
How did you end up in this shop?
I've been waiting here so long I don't even remember anymore. Just sitting and waiting for any word from the Pathfinders, but It looks like everyone has forgotten about me. The shop owner is an old friend of the Pathfinders, so I've taken up residence here.
Alrighty, I'll take you with me.
I swear you won't regret it. I can do all sorts of things. Is there anything your party is missing? A sword, a spear, a bow? Just say the word.
Finnian doesn't know that he is not just a weapon, which is both sad but also good for us. We're going to grab a scythe version of Finnian. And now we have a slightly glowing weapon. It is a +1 cold iron ghost touch weapon. What does ghost touch do? A ghost touch weapon deals damage normally against incorporeal creatures regardless of its bonus, and incorporeal creatures' 50% reduction in damage from corporeal sources does not apply to attacks made against it with ghost touch weapons. So there we go. We also have a +1 scythe. It's
to success.
it's okay.
I sense something.
Alright,
Something unusual.
there's a bunch of things to loot. There's that gold ring that Woljif was telling us about. The polished oak shelves once showcased magical rings and amulets. Now all that's left are the grubby handprints of the robbers. We also found a demonic heart of the oh, that's already says the same thing. Some scrolls have been torn apart and some have been trodden on by muddy boots. Yoink. This is where it lay, the moon of the abyss, Woljif says. I think it goes right there. There's the golem, but let's loot the chest here.
I will guard.
I think that's pretty well everything we need to take. Yes. Except whatever this was. This says, unique weapons and antique armor were previously displayed on these stands. It's unlikely their new owners even know their true value. Alright, let's save and talk to the golem. The formerly well-appointed shop now looks in a sorry state. It has been completely ransacked. Lying in the corner, next to a scorched wall, are the soot-covered shards of a clay golem's head. The golem's eyes glow in the gloom. Master. Code word. Hand of Aurori. Code word. Correct. The golem's eyes glow brighter, awaiting orders. Where did you come from? Who created you? This golem was created by Gaffreen and Son. Address, third building on the right, Jeweler's Alley, Nerosian Mendev, model G504ENE, which stands for Experimental and Enhanced. For all inquiries, contact Master Gaffreen. Tell me about any suspicious people who came to the shop in the last week. The golem is silent for a moment. 56 individuals entered the shop. Human female old, no male old, human female. He'll be reeling off customers till nightfall. We need to ask it in a different way. Were any of the suspicious people tieflings? The golem is silent for a while. Tieflings 3. Tiefling male, middle-aged. Tiefling male, young. Tiefling female, young. How about the young one? Tiefling male, medium height. Short horns curling backwards. Medium length tail. Eye color, yellow. Hair color, black. Special observations, annoyed master. Horns, hair tail. That sounds like me, but it's not possible. I know what security's like around here. I didn't come near the place. I give you my word, Chief. No special observations. Subject was unremarkable. There, see? Couldn't have been me. Describe the, middle-aged tiefling. Tiefling male, medium height, long horns, medium length tail, eye color, pale blue, skin color, dark, special observations, red hair. Oh, that's our traitor. I bet your life on it. Charisma drilled it into our heads that we wasn't to go hanging about the shop. Red hair. We got a couple gingers, and there's plenty more, who get it out of a bottle. So much for a special observation. Golems ain't all they're cracked up to be, eh? Maybe its master knows more. How about the female tiefling? Tiefling female, above average height, hair long, pale, tail not observed, long horns, eye color blue, special observations, scar on nose, baldric with gold stitching. If I don't know that one. New arrival most likely, gold stitching, eh? Wouldn't mind getting to know her a little bit better. Enough. Where is your master? Philemon Fruliatros, my master, is in his hiding place. Revealing the location of the hiding place is prohibited. Prohibited. He's likely holed up somewhere in the basement. When the commotion started, the entrance should be around here somewhere. Where is the basement of this place? The basement is below me. I guard the basement. Leaving my post is prohibited. Well, I found out everything I need to know, so I'm gonna just shuffle your remains off to the side. That was an athletics check, apparently. The DC was 16, and we luckily succeeded. I don't know what happens if you fail. I guess you reload. I'm gonna pause for half a sec here. I have a weird cough today. It's all good. Let's steal some port. And some wine. And some wine. Port is just wine though, so I don't know
I hope you appreciate
if
this.
the game differentiates it as well as it should, because port is delicious. So is wine, but port is very delicious. Depending on what kind you get. Philemon Fruliatros, the elderly gnome, so portly as to be nearly spherical, is curled up in the corner of the basement shaking. Marauders, bandits, scavengers. Yeah, that makes sense. We're all of those things and much more. Before you report us to the authorities, mind if we have a chat? Please calm down. No one is going to rob you. The gnome peers at you. You do look better dressed than the local thieves and ragamuffins. You came here to tell me the nightmare is over? No, it's not. You're here to steal my riches. Get back. The gnome notices Woljif and his rounded face turns scarlet. You, Woljif, the dirty, sneaky thief. You've been sniffing around my shop for years. Finally worked up the courage to rob me, did you? Get out of here. Your pals have taken everything already, I'm sure. The gnome seems to settle slightly. My name is Philemon Fruliatros. I was the owner of this shop, but I'm not sure I can claim to be the owner of anything now. I hope there's at least something left of it. Oh, come off of it. Your shop's fine. It's a bit ransacked maybe, but nothing but a spit and polish can't fix. Where were you the night of the robbery? Do you think I robbed my own shop? I was here, in the basement. I was told to make it look like I left. The watch was very keen to get their hands on those Thieflings. They seem to be multiplying all over Galarian, so I did everything they said, and I've been stuck in this basement since then. The golem wouldn't move away from the door, no matter how much I yelled at it. But then, I thought that it was all to the good. Maybe somebody came by after the guards, caused a ruckus upstairs, bellowing like mad, taking advantage of my absence. Tell me about the Thieflings that have visited Ancient Trees and Wonders recently. Why should I tell you anything about my customers? You're not from the City Guard or the Eagle Watch. Chief, if he keeps digging his heels in, just say the word. I know how to loosen his tongue. We'll try and bluff. I'm helping the Eagle Watch to catch the culprits. It's in your interest to tell me anything. No. That did not work. The gnome cast a suspicious eye over you. Is that so? How do I know you're telling the truth? And since when is the Eagle Watch in the habit of sending strangers to do their work for them? We can try to intimidate, start talking, or die. The gnome shifts into a defiant stance, his hands on his hips. Or what? The worst has already happened. The whole city's picked over my shop, feels like. I'm ruined. But go ahead, kill me, before my creditors come knocking. Woljif, you do it. That's a pretty cool ability. Persuade him how? I ain't even gonna try. I'm just gonna let him have a little chat. Woljif erupts in blue flame, and the shadow of a winged demon with claws grows behind him, with the Devourer demon from the depths of the abyss. Philemon recoils in terror, covering his head with his hands. I'll tell you everything. Yes, I really did kick that pup, but I didn't know I'd be going flying halfway across the yard. The blue flame and the shadow vanish. Pup, what pup? Tieflings, tell us about the Tieflings. Tell us about Woljif. Philemon's face wrinkles in distaste. Woljif Jeffto, right? I've known him for a long time, though I'd rather not know him at all. He's been skulking around my shop for years, treating the place like a free museum. He always wanted to look at the moon of the abyss, and I'd chase him out, but he'd just slink back in again. If he was with the gang that robbed my shop, I bet anything he swiped to the moon. How come I'm the prime suspect? Whoever betrayed us all, that's the one who's got the moon. I want to see it returned too, you get me? I don't like the idea of people's grubby mitts on it. Tell me about the red-haired tiefling. Philemon falls to thinking. A red-haired tiefling. I suppose, yes, there was one who came in, spent a long time looking around. He was a person of modest means. I could tell by his clothes, but he asked me to show him an Osimar-made chainmail. He certainly couldn't afford it. That's when I suspected that something was off. I checked everything after he left, but nothing was missing. And that put my mind at ease. I can't remember what he looked like. I didn't get a good look at his face. All I remember is that he was wrapped in a green cloak, like he was freezing. But that's all I got. That's it. That description will surely sniff him out. Come on, Chief. Back to Sister Kara's may we go. To have a good, long shifty at all my brothers, and put all these clues together. Something tells me our traitor isn't going to wriggle out of this one. Tell me about the tiefling woman. Tiefling woman? Yes, I remember now. A noble lady, unlike the tiefling ruffians we have around here. She purchased magical equipment for the crusade, and she promised to come again. If only all tieflings were like that, I'd be laughing all the way to the bank. He scratches his chin. That's everything I wanted to know. If that isn't enough to help you catch the thieves, then I don't know what else to tell you. Now be on your way, and leave me in peace with my wreck of a shop. Time to go. We're gonna go deal with Charisme and all the other things. We're gonna probably have to save scum it a little bit. The skill check to get the good ending for it is a little bit annoying, so that is probably what we're gonna have to do. Anyways, off to this place. Entering the location. We'll save before the conversation, and we'll try and go through it. Maybe we'll get really lucky with our rolls, and this won't take a bunch of attempts, but it might. Charisme drums her fingers nervously on the handle of her blade. Well, are you going to tell me who the traitor is? The name and the moon of the abyss that stole? I don't need anything else. I'm ready to give a name. Go on, tell her. It's Melrune. I already know this, because I've done this several times. He is the red-haired, long-horned, green-cloaked tiefling. You'll pay for this. Bodiel and Hepsimira will get you at the end. He got knifed in the back. Grab him. Take him away for questioning. Charisme looks wary, but her earlier tension has clearly lifted. He confessed. Someone connected to the cult of Baphomet ordered him to steal the Moon of the Abyss, and that's the best idea he could come up with, was to drag us into it. He got the scroll to take out the golem, he betrayed us to Erebeth so that he could swipe the amulet in the chaos. He thought we'd get nicked and he'd slink off to meet up with his customer. You got the Moon of the Abyss? Let me look at it one more time. My whole life, I've dreamt of holding it in my hands, if only for a second. He said when he got to the window display, the moon was gone. He's lying, of course. He just had time to hand off the moon to the person who ordered it. Bloody cultists. I don't give a toss. I'm just glad we got to the bottom of this. Hey, can I join the family? Charisme burst out laughing. That's all you want? You can have your pick of the non-tiefling gangs. You have no need to tread on our territory. The family is for tieflings only. No exceptions. What are you gonna do now? Clear out of this place. The sooner the better. The city's dying, and I don't want to die with it. The city would have already died if not for the people who stood up to defend it with weapons in their hands. So defend it. I'm not stopping you. It's your city. But we've already been outsiders here. Why should we fight for it now? What are you going to do to the traitor? Charisme nonchalantly picks her nails with her knife tip. He'll be sent to visit his distant relatives on their farm. To think about what he did. Any more questions? I have to go. Good decision. I don't plan to hang around long either. She turns to leave. Sister. Woljif nervously bites his lip. His cheeks are flushed and his tail is swishing through the air. You forgot something. What now? You should be happy to be alive. An apology. You promised to apologize to me loudly in front of everyone. Well, we're alone now, but I still want to hear it. Ah, that. Charisme shrugs indifferently. So, sorry, I suppose. For being wrong about you this time. Don't think that just because you didn't act like a jerk this one time, that it cancels out the rest of your record. I know all about you. Till next time, Woljif. We're going to try to say that was the most pathetic apology I've ever heard. Charisme's eyes harden, but then she sighs. Alright, fine. I'm sorry, Woljif. Let's part on good terms. And now apologize to me as well. When you falsely accused my ally, you accused me too. We succeeded both times right away. That is extraordinarily lucky. A flurry of emotions pass across Charisme's face. When she finally opens her mouth, the words trickle out slowly, like each one's a struggle. And I am sorry to you too. And to make it up to you, here. She pulls the key out from her pocket and tosses it to you, and now I'm leaving. We got the Thieflings vault key. Those are the two things we need. You also need to save right now, and I'm going to tell you why as soon as she leaves. Woljif watches her go, his tail relaxing. You made some impression on her. I've never seen Sister Charisme back down before. Listen, Chief, when you got a spare minute, come see me. I've got something I want to discuss with you, but for now, let's get out of here. I don't like sitting below ground when the building above is ready to crash down on our heads. So, you're going to want to save right now, because there's a perception check here. This opens up this thing, but there's a perception check for the secret door here. If you fail, you don't get the cool treasure. Just a heads up.
I am helpful, am I not?
Because back there, well, there's also some stuff in here, like the Ring of Sharp Strike, which is a pretty good ring. Whenever the wearer of this ring shoots an enemy engaged in melee combat and hits, the enemy suffers a -1 penalty on attack rolls for 1 round.
Watch out for trouble.
Let's just grab this, and most importantly, the 1500 gold and the Thieflings account book. So the balance was supposed to be 2500 gold, and it breaks down all of the things. Balance, 2390 gold, but there's only 1500 in the chest. Some shithead got their hands on my treasury. I bet my horns it's Woljif, that rotten mug. Next time I see that bloody swine, he's going to the farm. But I'll take the 1500 gold. It's pretty good. And we're going to leave. We have now successfully completed that quest. We're going to head to the library next, but that's going to be a next video sort of situation. We're going to go get... Actually, I don't know if we can get to the library. I think we have to go to the main square first. Yes. We have to do the market square, and then we can go to Blackwing Library. Blackwing Library is where we're going to get our Trickster Path. We also have the Silken Thread Antler, or Atelier, sorry. The Tower of Estrade, Corbin's Mansion, Topaz Solutions, the Tier Beta Residence, and of course, there is the Pitaxian Wine Cellar, which is just past the library. So, we have many things to do. For now, though, I'll leave you guys here. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please leave them below. Otherwise, I'll see you next time. We'll continue on our way. Try and do more things. See you next time.